mountains of North Dakota land, where the skies are wide and the freedom stands. With a Bible in my hand and a prayer in my heart, living this life where the wild plays its part. Dust on my boots and my hat pulled low, got my trusty rifle and I'm ready to go. Hunting the game as the sun hits the sky, in the heart of the 701 I feel so alive. Guns and the 701, that's how we roll. Faith in the good Lord, that's how we hold the line of the legacy that runs through our veins. In this wild, wild land where the spirit remains, we're living free, living bold side by side, with God on our plate and our hearts open wide. Ranching the fields, the cattle run free, with a purpose so strong, it's our grand legacy. The rivers run deep as we cast out our lines, fishing the waters where the North Star shines. Got the warmth of the sun with the chill of the night, with every shot fired we're ready to fight for the freedom we cherish. The second is true, with family beside us we stand through and through. Guns in the 701, that's how we roll. Faith in the good Lord, that's how we hold the line of the legacy that runs through our veins. In this wild, wild land where the spirit remains, we're living free, living bold side by side, with God on our plate and our hearts open wide. In a world that's spinning with sins that they wield, we stick to our values, our fate is revealed. With the word as our guide, we tread on the earth, a community built from the love, not the curse. Raising our voices, singing loud through the night, for God and our freedom, we'll continue the fight. Let the rifles ring out, let the spirits align. In North Dakota's embrace, our souls intertwine. So when you hear the gunshots and feel that proud sound, know it's faith and freedom that echoes around. From the fields of the ranch to the depths of the lake, with God on our side, there's nothing at stake. Guns and the 71, forever we'll stand in the heart of our faith, in this great free
Alrighty, good evening, everybody. Guns of the 701 Network, episode 181. As you can see, my guest tonight is Mary Graner. Welcome tonight.
Thanks so much, Clayton. I appreciate it. It's an honor and a privilege.
Oh, well, thank you for coming on. I love conservatives, and we have quite a discussion topic, and that's the Senate race in District 31. But before we get going there, I want to start out like I do every evening, and that's with a small prayer. Lord, thank you for the freedoms that you've given each and every one of us. Thank you for letting us be in a country that's Christian-based, freedom-based, and has a constitution to protect the freedoms that you have granted to all of us. Please watch over the men and women as they protect this country wherever they are sent, because they ask no questions and they just get it done. Lord, watch over each and every one of us as we see the turmoil that spreads around the world. Let us remember that your word is divine and it is the final say. And that if we trust you and we put 100% faith in your word, we have nothing to fear. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
And would you like to do the honors of telling everybody here what the Second Amendment is?
Oh, well, gosh, it is a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
There we go. And I always say that's the most important 27 words in all of our amendments, because without it, nothing else is going to be protected. So,
and that's
all
the
right.
way. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut it. It's
go
like,
ahead.
It's true. It's like a lot of people don't understand how important that amendment is, because without it, it's like it protects every other amendment. And if we ever lose that amendment, which we won't, by the way, although many have tried and are continuing to try.
Oh, yeah.
We're lost.
Very much so. It's that amendment protects everything we have. The whole reason we still have survived 250 years is because we still have the right to keep and bear arms. And
right.
I'm a truist. I don't try to interpretate the Second Amendment. Those 27 words are very, very profound. They're very clear. You got to remember, when our founding took place, most people didn't even have an education, so they wrote it for everybody to understand. That's why I get so perturbed when I hear the other side say, "Oh, that ain't what they meant," or "This is how it's supposed to be." No, they wrote it exactly how they wanted.
Yeah, they had guns and powder back then. Well, okay, the bad guys and the good guys still had equal equipment. It's like,
right. Well, you want to tweak somebody, be like me, and I say, well, I think we should have every weapon that the military has. Oh, you want to tweak somebody, just tell them that. I do believe I should have full autos without the NFA, the 1934 Gun Control Act. I do believe I should have rocket launchers and any arms that way, because that is my right. And I'm not the guy you got to worry about. I mean, nothing behind me bothers nobody. I use it as is, and I'm a law-abiding citizen. Mm-hmm. And it is the intent. People always like to argue this fact with me that, well, you're going to take on the government if needed. That's the whole point of the Second Amendment. Hunting and shooting is great. It's fun. We all get, that's the side effect of the right. But the Second Amendment was written so that we could, if we needed to, restore our constitutional republic from tyranny. That is the intent of the Second Amendment.
And there's more people on opening season of deer season, or opening day of deer season, carrying rifles and weapons across the prairies. I want to say that it's either like Michigan or Wisconsin, something like that. But they said that there's more people armed than there are in the military, and yet there's never a shooting. I mean, every now and then there might be an accidental something or other, like someone, and it's usually if they're crossing a fence, a barbed wire fence or something, and a gun accidentally goes off. So there is an occasional injury or death. But for the most part, you have millions of guns out there, and they are just doing what they're supposed to do. They're providing food for your family.
Well, you just look at hunting seasons in general. Let's just say deer seasons, which they vary, but a lot of them are in the fall, even across the United States. Millions of people go out there armed, and not with not with granddad's single shot wood stock rifle. A lot of people are using the modern sporting rifles, also known as AR-15s, because they've come so far as well. I enjoy shooting in it.
That's not for automatic rifle. It's the Armalite?
Armalite rifle, Model 15.
Right.
And it's a semi-auto, which is no different than, say, a Remington 7400 rifle, which has a nice, pretty wood stock, looks more like a traditional rifle, but it's still the same function. One trigger pull to fire around. It's semi-auto, and there's nothing wrong with having those. And honestly, would I go hunting with a full auto? No. Are they fun to shoot? Yes. I've shot several Class 3 guns. Are they hard to control? Yes. You better know what you're doing. And I'm telling you, I don't care how big and strong you are. Don't believe the movies. It will rise as you shoot it. It's just, you can't. You got a 3-shot burst is the best one. It's and that's because you can control it better. But when you watch the movies and these guys take even a 20-round mag and they just pop it off, No, that ain't how that works.
Well, and they're good for prairie dogs. Let's face it. You know.
Oh, yeah. Well, Jamie and Axe and a bunch of the people that I go with, they love shooting their ARs on the dog. Now, I still take my 220 Swift. That's my favorite gun. And I'm pretty accurate with it. So I don't actually use an AR in a dog town, but they are a very proficient firearm for them. So anyway, I better get to some of these comments quick. Like, hey, good evening, everybody. Corey, good evening. Waylon, good to have you here tonight. Brian, he's a faithful follower here. Tom Donaldson over there, West Fargo. And Tom and I have been talking. We're going to try to get together and have an exchange of signs, hopefully here, possibly this week. Corey says, my first question tonight is the ND DOT going to fix Highway 49 before someone gets killed? Okay. I don't know. 49's in bad shape. The section from New Leipzig, he says, the South Dakota border now is pushed back to 2029. So I imagine you don't know much about that. It's more of a probably, I'm sure it would show up in a legislative session at times, but if you haven't been down 49 yet, Mary, oh my goodness, it's bad. It's really bad.
It's been a long time since I've been there, but I've heard about it. I've had a constituent and friend reach out to me regarding a couple of roads out in that area. So it is something that's important, and it's for safety. You know, you go cruising down the road going, 65 miles an hour and hit a pothole that you don't know is there, or say there's water in it and you don't see it. It's dangerous. You can have a rollover so easily. And then you have grain trucks. We raise cattle and grains, and so you get those heavy trucks riding on those roads. And we do need good roads. Now we have, trillions of dollars sitting around. Why not put it to good use instead of saving it for a rainy day? Like, we just need to, I think back, and I'm kind of going all over the place here, but you go up to Alaska. And, they have all the oil and whatnot, and people don't have an income tax. So you don't have to pay into the income tax. And it's like, there's so many, okay, so we do pay an income tax, but let's put it to work. Let's put things to work for us instead of saving trillions of dollars and it just sits there.
Well, and you'll hear this term, especially when you take office, is the buckets. You've heard the term, all these buckets that we have. I do not like that term or what we do with them. One of them buckets happens to be part of the Outdoor Heritage Fund, which I was recently appointed to here this past fall. I'm just going to say it right out, and I've made no bones about it. Are there some good grants that come in there? Yes. And that's the money that fills that bucket to the tune of $1 to $1.5 million every month, Mary. Every month.
Wow.
I mean, you're talking $15+ million a year up, possibly right in there. And you should see some of I think they're wasteful grants that come into that. Now that's a whole nother ball of wax, but that's one of them buckets. And it is specifically specified for outdoor use, I guess. It's supposed to be for conservation, but that term has been so loosely adapted for so many things.
It was kind of hijacked in a way too.
It really has been. And I think I voted for 4 of the 18 grants that were submitted. So you can see where I was on that. I was not in favor of a lot of these things, but they passed, and I can't do nothing about it when you're outvoted, 4-9 or 4-5 or whatever it might be. But yeah, I can tell you right now, you're going to run into that, and you're going to see the waste that we have. They keep telling us we're broke. This state is not broke.
It may be broken, but it's not broke.
Exactly. The money that flows in. Now, they waste. Do they waste? Yep. I mean, I know people that make $200,000 a year and they're broke. Well, that isn't an income problem. It's a spending problem, and it's the same problem our government has.
Here's the deal with North Dakota. All right. We have basically the same demographic as South Dakota. We have about the same population. And, they have more tourism, but we have more oil. But for years, it was the same. We spent about the same. South Dakota, a little bit more than North Dakota. All of a sudden, when the oil boom hits, boom, our budget is twice as much as South Dakota. And I want to say Dr. Rick Becker had actually put that together, a chart that he had used. I don't know if all your viewers know that I also have a show on Beck, and he had brought it on a couple of different times. He's used that graph. where everything else stayed the same except the spending went through the roof. So now we spend twice as much as South Dakota, but yet nothing else has really changed.
Well, and so I come from South Dakota. Everyone, there's no secret. That's where I cut my teeth. And I did a lot of lobbying in Pierre for the NRA and for South Dakota Shooting Sports. As with anything, I was there for one reason, but you end up seeing so many other things. You sit in on other committee meetings in between. It's just, that's the nature of that beast. And I'm interested. I mean, if I'm there, why not see what they're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you right now that between the two legislatures, North Dakota and South Dakota might not be a supermajority Republican, but they definitely have a bigger majority of conservatives, real conservatives in their legislature than North Dakota can even dream about. We might have a supermajority Republican. It is not a supermajority conservative.
Exactly.
By any means.
No, and that's just it. And that's where the Republican in name only, the rhinos, come into play, because just because they have an R behind their name does not mean they are conservative.
And I think that's where so many people here that vote. I mean, I moved up here. I didn't even know how the candidates were chosen. And I think I contacted you, and you're the one that first put me in touch with some of the other people. And when I got involved quite heavily with District 31, and this system is, I don't know. It just amazes me. There's no voter registration up here, and being involved in many campaigns, that was the first thing I'd go get in a county when we'd be assigned to. Is like, I need to have the voter registration log, and some would give it to you, some would sell it to you, but that was our base and our starting point in each of them counties when we were building our coalitions. You don't have this here.
No, we're the only state in the nation that does not have a registered voting list, or you don't have to register to vote.
And when you'd go in to vote South Dakota, you walk in, they look at your registration. Oh, you're a registered Republican. You know what you get handed? Only a Republican ballot.
Mm-hmm.
Only a Democrat ballot. If you're independent, only an independent ballot. And people down there always complain. It's great because the Republicans in that state are actually choosing their Republican candidates in the primary, because that's the only ballot they got, and they had to register as Republicans. Now, they may not have been card-carrying Republicans of the state party, but they were registered Republicans, and that made a big difference in those elections. It's a different animal up here, no doubt. So with that, I'm going to tell everybody, if you're looking here, we got Mary for ND Senate.com. Go check out her website, and I'm going to bring that up here in a little bit. We're already 21 minutes into this show, Mary. It goes fast, don't it?
It sure does.
So we're going to take our first break. Thanks some sponsors that have been with us for a long time, and then we're going to come back and kind of dive into what differentiates you from what I don't like Don. I've made no bones about that on this show, but I can say whatever I want about that commie. But I know you're running against him and you've worked with him, so I know you can differentiate yourself from him, and I want you to do that. Tell everybody, why should we vote for Mary over Don? It's an easy choice for me. So,
okay. All right. Can't wait.
All right, we will be right back after we thank some sponsors, and then we'll get right into it.
LAUER Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake.
Make no mistake.
LAUER Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
When you want it done right,
Go where lemons go.
Kalon's Auto Service, owned and operated by Kalon and Misty Foss, lifelong locals with over 25 years experience. From modern rides to classic restorations, they can handle it all. Top quality work, fair price, and honest hometown values. Located just 1 block south of Highway 12 on 6th Avenue West in Lemmon. Kalon's Auto Service, serving you with all your auto repair needs.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Mary Graner here. She's District 31 Senate Candidate for the North Dakota Legislature, which is my district, everybody. So that covers all of Sioux County, parts of Morton, I think parts of Grant, right, Mary?
Yes, I think it's all of Grant and then part of Headington.
Really?
So
Okay, I wasn't sure. I know they did a little changing on that, so I wasn't quite sure where it all ran now. But I know all of Sioux County's in it, so we got a lot of Sioux County listeners, so I invite everybody to chime in here. I know people are shy, aren't they? They don't want to chime in. They don't call in anymore to shows. They might talk to you personally, but they just don't do a lot of anything else, do they?
Well, that's right. I mean, and maybe they already know everything. So, you have really intelligent viewers. They might not have any questions.
Well, that could be, but I kind of like, it's probably the same ones that maybe listen to the ladies of another view. I know you guys got great, you got smart viewers too. I think that's just the conservative side, isn't it?
Well, and here's the deal. Now that I am running for Senate, I had to pull back being a host right now. So I can be a guest on any of the shows on back, but I can't be a host. And that's because of the FCC ruling. It's the equal time share, basically. So kind of. And it's like, well, but I'm not always campaigning, right? But technically, every time I open my mouth and give an opinion, I'm technically campaigning because it's a political opinion.
So I'll actually give you a little insight. That's not actually true. I know they tell you it is. That's what their lawyers tell them at those places. Actually, the FEC does not even really have that in effect like it used to be with the equal time versus it's they do it because they don't want to have any kind of a candidate try to sue them if they didn't get time. But I can tell you for a fact, especially with the NRA, and we were working on campaigns, that they do it out of what do you want to say? Just trying to stay out of any battles. But in all honesty, they won't get in trouble. You wouldn't get in trouble, but that's okay. That's their policy. They can have it. I know what the rule is. In fact, I probably still got a copy of it here somewhere, but it's not what they think it is anymore. It was relaxed quite a bit several years ago.
And I guess I knew it has been relaxed, but part of it's courtesy too. And it has actually freed up some of my time to go ahead and get some campaigning done.
Yeah, no, and that's the great part of that. You can get out there and get it done. As far as being I don't give courtesy anymore to my enemies, and I consider all Democrats enemies, especially. I'm done playing that game. That's probably why I withdrew so much. I'm done with it. I don't care what the other side thinks anymore when they're wrong. Now, if they can prove me wrong, great. I'll concede. But I'm not going to play with them no more.
But I'm just going to say that there are a lot of conservative Democrats. All right. So you take someone like I have relatives. I'll just give an example. My mother, she is a Kennedy Democrat, but she's 95 years old and she would be a Republican today. And so there are those people that are Democrats and they do lean conservative. And if you were to have to, vote between, say, let's just, because Biden ran last, between Biden and Trump or any conservative, a lot of them did vote for Trump. And a lot of people think, oh no, it's red and blue, just, cut and dried. I guess to me, there is wiggle room because there are some great Democrats out there. There really are. We just, I think when you think of there's a lot of far crazies on the far right and the far left. Let's put it that way. And 80% of the people are middle.
See, I don't believe that. I don't think there's 80% middle anymore. I'm out there way too much across the country still. I think it's maybe closer to 60-40. I tell you, and if you look at those that are involved with the Democrat Party as a whole, the ones running it, yeah, there's no middle ground with those people. If you read
No,
their
I would agree with you, but that too, that's not a true Democrat, and they don't even call themselves Democrats. That's a socialist Democrat, and they're actually using that title, but they're falling under the Democrat tent, if that makes sense. And hopefully
they took it over. They started taking it over pretty heavily in the 60s, and it just finally spiraled up, and they're just showing their colors now.
I mean, even the Democrats, or say the majority of the Democrats from North Dakota, they're not the Mamdani type Democrats. They're not the AOC Democrats. So I'm gonna give them some grace. I really am.
You've been to Fargo lately? There's a bunch of them in that camp.
Well, but those aren't necessarily people from Fargo either, are they?
No, but I'm starting to even see that in Bismarck. I mean, we get hit here quite a bit, because of my pro-gun stance, and I don't apologize for it. and
neither should you.
Yeah, just like I don't apologize for my belief in my Christian religion. I won't apologize for that. There's just certain things I don't do that, and I've got family members that we've been able to bridge at least some kind of a conduct during family events. But I can tell you, we don't talk much other than that. But we can keep it cordial during a family event.
And so a lot of times too, it's just the ones that are super active. Like I said, give an example of, some elderly relatives and whatnot. They don't get involved in the day-to-day democratic socialism type events. They were always Democrats, and by golly, the Kennedys were Democrats, and so I'm still a Democrat. In their mind, that's no,
I get it, that part.
So.
But I mean, I guess when I say I don't bargain with the enemy, I don't, especially when I go to the legislature anymore. And maybe that's why I don't hang out there as much anymore, because I'm not going to have smoke blowing up my rear.
No, I get it.
I call it what it is. And the problem is we've had too much compromise from our side, plain and simple. The other side never compromises, ever. Their idea compromise is do it our way. And that's probably the most frustrating thing to me when I'm up there and I see what happens. And then you get the backroom deals that are made. It's frustrating. And that's where your opponent has been part of many of them, as far as I'm concerned. And the other two guys, and I don't know the other guy running for the House seat, that Kevin Remington, I believe is his name, right? I don't know much about him. But I definitely know about Don. I know about Jim. And and you don't have to say nothing to this, but I can tell you flat out, everybody, they are not conservatives. They are Republicans, but they are not conservatives, and you can't trust them. But that's why I'm endorsing Mary.
So I've never met Kevin, and I was not able to attend the endorsement convention, and that's why I threw my name in the hat later. I was actually at a meeting I was on the Cattlemen's Beef Board, and you talk about things, that's another board that needs to, well, let's just say we've been working hard trying to get things straightened out there as well. But so I wasn't able to attend, but I guess he had a slideshow, and he even admitted, he said he's fiscally conservative, but socially moderate. Now, what is socially moderate? Is it right to life? Is it, what is socially moderate? Is it the LGBTQ? Is it the DEI? What is socially moderate? And why would a socially moderate person be running under a Republican ticket?
Right. They shouldn't. Even if they take any aspect of what the socially moderate crowd is, it doesn't fit with the Republican platform in North Dakota, especially. And that's what I always used to respond to them. People are like, well, I really don't care what your feelings are, or your emotional feelings, or your emotional thoughts on this, because that's usually where it's derived from. Go read the platform. If you can't adhere to that platform, then you should switch parties. And that would usually piss them off because it's the truth.
Yeah.
So, well, I want to have you on because I want you to introduce yourself to those that might not know you. Hey, Lynette, I do believe you are in District 31. That would be axing Lynette out there just to
Okay, so you can actually look that up. You can go on to the Secretary of State's website, and I want to say there's a bunch of headings, but I think it's under voting, and then you can put in your address, and they'll tell you what district you're in. But Lynette, if you could actually answer online there where you're from, we might be able to help you out with that.
They're close to New Salem, but yeah, I know before they redistrict they were. They have a New Salem address, but they don't live in
Then
New
sorry,
Salem.
Lynette, I can't help you because some are, some aren't, and
as I say, have they fixed that? Even when I put my address in that, Mary, since they've changed everything, I now have Cedar River Township, which is a made-up place that don't exist, with a South Dakota or North Dakota heading for a state and a South Dakota zip code. The computers can't read none of that.
Yeah, I actually, because I had a few people from that area sign my petitions, and I had to put a yellow sticky note on there. And then when I turned in my petitions, or my signatures, I went ahead and pointed it out. She goes, "Yeah, we get that all the time." And so they're starting to familiarize themselves with that South Dakota border. But anyway, so because I don't want to run out of time.
I got all the time in the world, really, but it's more for you. What time frame do you have?
Okay. Well, I had a son, an adult son, who had knee surgery yesterday and is in a lot of pain. And you take your health for granted until something like that happens. And then this whole time, honestly, with his knee tore up like that, I think of our men and women out on the battlefield and when they get hurt and nobody can help them. And here I am, helping my adult son, and he's in a lot of pain. And so that for the last 2 days, that's all I've thought about is our military men and women out on the countryside. But there again, I digress. Anyway, I'm Mary Graner. I grew up on a ranch in between the Cross Ranch and Price, North Dakota. So it was I suppose the address would be Sanger, North Dakota. Went to school in Center, North Dakota. Graduated there. We'll leave that out. It was in the 1900s.
Not important, right?
Yeah, in the 1900s. And then still in the 1900s, I went to school up at Minot State. I have a double major in marketing and management, 2 bachelor degrees. And from there, I went down to South Dakota. I was actually in Sioux Falls for about 8 years. I was working as an insurance adjuster for State Farm. But as an insurance adjuster, I was the very first female property and casualty adjuster for State Farm in the states of North and South Dakota. So, that was kind of a man's world back then. And now, of course, a lot of women working it, but it took me all over the country. Like one of my very first natural disasters, I went out to San Francisco. It was that earthquake. I don't remember the name of it, but where all the bridges smashed down.
That was a pretty bad
one in San Francisco. But I've worked hail down in New Mexico. I spent 10 weeks down in Florida after Hurricane Andrew. And then Homestead, Florida also had a tornado right after Hurricane Andrew. So I've been all over the country doing property damage, but I also handled all the large liability cases too. So if anybody sued you for any reason, I would come in and do all the initial footwork, all the initial investigations, getting statements, that type of thing. I've sat in the state prison taking a recorded statement from a convicted murderer who was appealing his case, and I had to go take care of that. I've investigated arson files with the ATF. And so just my background is just all over the place. I've done it, seen it. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I've seen the best of the best and the worst of the worst. I mean, we, and not to get graphic, but sometimes people die in their homes. Sometimes they fall on a heat grate, and sometimes people don't know they're there for a couple of weeks. And so, you have, when you have to scrape things out of the basement to handle an insurance claim, it's horrible. But, then there's theft, arson, just you name it. I've pretty much seen it.
Yeah, no, and that's pretty extensive. You've been all over too. I guess I kind of knew that, though. I didn't know I was quite as extensive. That was 1989. I had to go look it up. Not San Francisco earthquake.
Well, now you're kind of dating me. Well, but then after I left Sioux Falls, I came up to Bismarck, and I'd always known my husband. We're old family friends, actually, but then ran into him in 95, I was up here working some hail claims, and then it's like there was an opening. I thought, I've always wanted to come home. Maybe now's a good time. So we started dating. We got married, and now we farm and ranch south of Mandan. We raise certified or commercial Angus, and then we're also small grains. And a lot of people know me as the corn lady.
Corn.
Yeah, so I sell sweet corn in Mandan. Been doing that for about 20 years,
And I highly recommend y'all get some. That's really good stuff.
it is really good stuff. I mean, I'll sell 1,000 dozen in about an hour and a half. In the first few days, towards the end of the season, it does take 3 or 4 hours, but it's amazing. I've sent corn all over the country. In fact, with somebody is from Colorado or New Mexico or whatever, I'll just put on my Facebook page, is anybody going in this direction? I'll name the town. And it's like, I'll have 3, 4, 5 people say, hey, I'm going there on Tuesday. And we pack up corn and they just take it. Otherwise, the shipping is pretty expensive. But I've sent it up to Alaska. I have a niece up there. The neighbor works in the oil patch up there, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. So if it works out, he'll take like 2 of those great big packing boxes full of sweet corn and takes it to all his friends up in the oil patch in Alaska. So, yeah, but it's fun.
That's got to be a treat. I can't imagine that isn't a big treat.
Yeah. But yeah, so then we have 4 grown kids. The oldest is a chiropractor. And then our next oldest daughter, she was Miss Rodeo North Dakota, and she helps us here on the ranch, but she also helps her uncle at Heartland Invest. It's a commodities brokerage firm in Bismarck.
Eugene Graner, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So, and then we have a son who's he has a mechanical engineering degree, and he went back to get his aerospace engineering degree. So he'll be done this spring. And then our other son has a business background.
So yeah, just well-rounded there.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. And we hope somebody takes over the ranch. But, when they see mom and dad working so hard, especially dad, let's be honest, 24/7, especially now during calving season, we're almost done. But it's like, it's tough. And then when you can go get a good job, work 40 hours a week, get a 401k, health insurance, paid time off, weekends off. It's hard to come back and work on a farm. It really is, because we all know, we're making money in the cattle industry right now, but the grains, it's like one pays the other. When the grains are high, the cattle are low. And when the cattle are high, the grains are low. So they,
Well, and I've encouraged both of my boys to come back. The plan here is that they're going to take the place over, and I'm going to retire again. I'll never probably ever really retire, but I truly am already letting them do things. It's hard to sometimes not say something like, hey, why are you doing it that way? But I can remember when I used to have someone over my shoulder. So I've learned I don't do that. I let them do it and fail if they need to.
Mm-hmm.
But I have encouraged. What's that?
You learn through failing.
Yes, absolutely. And they've been, Landon's doing great. Now he'll turn, he's going to be 19 now.
Mm-hmm.
He just turned 19. Really is coming into his own here. He's been a huge help for calving. I don't have to do as many night checks anymore, which is really nice. I'm not that old. I'm only 51, but it's a lot different than when I was in my 20s. I can tell you that, checking cows at night.
Well, the best thing, I mean, we all know that COVID was a big pandemic, let's put it that way. But the best thing that came out of COVID is our kids got sent home from college. And so we had helpers during calving season because I think they were sent home. It was March, wasn't it? Or February?
Yeah, something
January,
like that.
January 20th or something like that. But it happened during a basketball tournament. And that's another thing. It happened during a basketball tournament. They'd already been together since that Thursday. And at noon on Saturday, everybody had to go home.
No, it was
insane. But anyway, getting back to the farming and ranching, Claire came home. She's very, very handy. She rodeoed for NDSU as well. But and Cole was back too. So we had 2 of our best ranchy kids at home helping us during COVID. Oh, yeah. And then the next year, Claire could option to do her classes online or on campus. And so she just came home during calving and did her classes online. So it really was, that part was a blessing. So.
I have encouraged them both And Landon might. He took a summer job this year. I always told them both, you got to go work for somebody else, not just me. They need to go out and do that at least once so they understand what self-employment is versus, or, working for dad versus working for somebody who they will fire you if you don't do your job. And I told them both too, I'd like to see, like, Leighton's really interested. I think he's probably either going to go for welding or diesel mechanics. And I go, both of them will be great
choice,
because you'll be able to use them here. And if you want, you can start a small little business right here on the place. And I can't tell you how many more diesel mechanics or fabricating people we could use. There aren't enough of them. So you learn a skill, and I've always beat this into their head. Work for yourself. Don't ever work for nobody else. Work for yourself and control your own destiny, and you'll be as successful as you want to be. That's what I did. And I would never, I will never work for anybody. I might temporarily work for someone and help them out, but I'm just always going to own my own business. I've learned that from the first one we made and then sold. And then I did work a little bit for but I'm never going to go work for anybody full time again. I will find something I can make a good living at if I need to, if it isn't this. So.
Right.
But yeah, no, I'll tell you what, I've got time here. So let's do a quick break again, then we'll come back. And I'm just going to let you tell us what you want to do. I think we need to get the word out. So we'll be right back. This will be about, if you want to everybody wants to take a little break, get a little something to drink and a little top off your adult beverage, whatever you're doing, this would be the time to do it. It's just about a 4-minute break. So we'll be right back.
LAUER Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. LAUER Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at LAUER Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's LAUER Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
When you want it done right,
Go where lemons go.
Kalon's Auto Service, owned and operated by Kalon and Misty Foss, lifelong locals with over 25 years experience. From modern rides to classic restorations, they can handle it all. Top quality work, fair price, and honest hometown values. Located just 1 block south of Highway 12 on 6th Avenue West in Lemmon. Kalon's Auto Service, serving you with all your auto repair needs.
For the best gun gear for every and any situation, Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger to essential extras from Magpul, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
At Horton LaserCraft, we believe in the power of personalization. Whether it's a cherished memory, a special occasion, or a unique gift, our custom laser engraving brings your vision to life. Our expert craftsmen and state-of-the-art technology ensure every piece is a work of art. From personalized decor to one-of-a-kind keepsakes, Horton LaserCraft makes every moment unforgettable. Horton LaserCraft is owned and operated by a local veteran and his wife located near Thunderhawk, South Dakota. They provide custom laser products at a reasonable price, and their turnaround time is fast and efficient.
Custom board cutting, glassware, decanter sets, mugs, assorted stainless steel jewelry, assorted tags, decor, custom acrylic nightlights, and much, much more.
Call them up at 605-545-7535. Horton LaserCraft, where memories are engraved.
All right, everybody, we are back. Hey, Lynette and Axe say that you got their vote, so there's two right there.
I saw that. Thank you. We appreciate it.
So I'm going to put this up here quick, and this is your website. I think it'll work pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to expand it here.
There I am.
And guys, I'm going to pull the chat off here. You can still chat, but I'm going to pull it off here so we can see the actual website. So here's your website, Mary Graner. And she's got defending life, protecting agriculture, education, and energy, and standing for North Dakota values. And I do encourage you guys, Mary for ndsenate.com. Go check it out. And just as she was talking about, here's kind of her bio and what she's been doing, what she has done, and how she got to where she's at. Of course, there's a donate now, and I encourage everybody to go on there and donate. Elections do not run on hopes and dreams.
Yeah, no doubt.
Campaigns are expensive, especially when you're going against an incumbent. Early voting, everybody, and as much as I know that you probably dislike it as much as I do, it's a reality. So April 30th, early voting and mail-in voting begin. She's got a link there. Primary election day, of course, June 9th. She's got everything she needs right here for you to be able to find a place to vote and how to vote and know about her. I don't know. I'll click on the learn more here. There it is. She's got everything here. This is my first time on your site, so.
All right. Well, hey, I want to stop right here. This flag right here.
Yes.
So this was really cool. So I had Butch. He is the president of the Vietnam Legacy Vet Motorcycle Club.
Okay.
He went ahead. I had him on our show on Ladies of Another View on Beck, and he asked me to ride behind him or with him on his motorcycle carrying the flag. And so we were in like a caravan of about 500 motorcycles. And I had the honor and the privilege of riding on that very first bike. And so I'm so excited for that because, I grew up on motorcycles and then, first horses and then motorcycles. But the American flag and veterans mean the world to me. And to have that privilege and honor to go out on Memorial, out to the Veterans Cemetery on the lead bike, it's kind of a big deal. So
that's pretty cool. Well, I know you love the flag because here's your sign. I mean, red, white, and blue. And when I was running for the county commissioner down here, I did the same thing. There wasn't even a question, red, white, and blue. And I know that you have a love for our country.
Right. So that's not, I have to back up. That one was just a sample sign. That is not the one I'm technically.
That's not the real one.
No, the real one, because, and that one was with AI. So this is my real one. I don't even know if I can get it on there. Boom, there it is.
Just a second. I'm going to unmirror your camera. There, now they can read it. There you go. Okay. Well, I need to get some of them, Mary.
Okay.
I know I can get them along 49.
I can make that happen.
Are you going to have any of the 4x8s? I know they're spendy.
Yes,
so.
I have 4x8s and 4x4s. Because sometimes the area is just a little bit smaller. And so I just thought 4x4 feet is really a good size as well. But I do have a bunch of 4x8s. In fact.
But the 4x4s actually are easier to get up in a lot of different places. And you can still see them really well because I know like when the last time when Dawson ran and some of the other people here, I have access to get up along 49 at several places. So
awesome.
Yeah. Well, you can probably get some there. I have no doubt.
Visit with you about that.
Yeah. I know Danelle's going to be coming up there Thursday. So we could get some of the small ones because she's going to I think she's bringing a little Passat. So not going to get very many big ones there. Hey, it's a diesel and gets 41 miles a gallon. So,
there you go.
Do that. All right. So I have so I feel kind of cool then. I've got the only one that probably is using this.
No, it's really nice. But, that one was built with AI and a lot of people don't like to see a lot of that AI stuff. They like more the natural, organic. But so there it looks. I was District 31 chairwoman. I was the vice chair I was secretary for a very short time, but I was always on fundraising, and I love to fundraise. It's easy for me to do fundraising for other people. It's hard to do it for myself, and that's why I have a hard time asking people for donations and whatnot. But I'll just give you a fine example. Our daughter was Miss Rodeo North Dakota, and I helped her with her fundraiser the first year, and we blew it out of the park. But anyway, our priest, just a young Catholic priest out of Mandan, North Dakota, he's quite the character, just really very, very outgoing. Anyway, he was at her fundraiser. I said, hey, Father, I said, I can help you with your fundraiser. I said, what do you guys usually make? He goes, oh, I don't know, 35 to, oh, there's my babies right there, by the way,
Yep.
35 to 40,000 bucks. And anyway, so I said, let's have a gala. I said, I can help you raise more. So that first year, which was last year, take a wild guess how much we raised.
100,000?
Higher.
200?
Higher.
Oh, let's go
Yeah.
4.
240,000 bucks the
Nice
first year.
job. I know. Isn't that
And
cool?
so, and again, it's about inviting the right people and everything. And we did have a
Yep.
bourbon full, or a bourbon, like one bottle, for example, it sold for 3,200. The people rolled it over, sold for 3,200 again, rolled it over, and then the third person did get it for 3,200. So one bottle of a, say, $120 bottle of bourbon brought like 9,600 bucks. And so we actually
Well, they knew why they were there.
Yeah, exactly. And we did it again, actually, this last weekend, and we raised about the same amount again. And one bottle of Pappy's bourbon, 15-year, I want to say, in the barrel. It sells
Them are expensive
for,
just to buy.
yeah, I think they're 1,800 anyway. Some guy bought it for 8,000 bucks, rolled it over, and it sold again for like $6,000.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've had the pleasure of actually sipping on some of that. It's good, but I'm not going to pay that for it.
It's a lot of money. It is.
I'm tight. I'll be the first one to admit I'm kind of a tight wad one, but I guess that's how I got to where I'm at. I can't on stuff like that. I just
Sure.
won't spend it. But if someone offers me one drink, okay, I'll try it out. But,
Sure. Yeah,
No,
but
yeah.
getting back, there's my babies down there, and that's 3 of the 4 of them, and of course that's 20 years ago. But and they're
Yeah.
all about the American flag. I guess I'm kind of known for that, for the flag.
And that's good. That's the symbol of strength. It's the symbol of freedom. It's the symbol of our country and our foundation. I don't know why anyone wouldn't be proud of that, honestly.
Yeah.
So
But
I
you
was,
had asked,
you know,
I was
Well,
going to
go
say,
ahead.
you asked why I was running. All right. So
Yep.
there's so many reasons why. But I was the chair, or how do I say this? I was the former chair of District 31. Before I was the chair, you were involved in that same election. Our senator was the chair. Anyway, it's like, why would your senator also want to be the chair of your district? It's like the fox in the hen house. It's like, you're supposed to answer to we the people. So it's like you have a legislator answering to himself. It's like, how does that work? And so one time he was going out to a meeting in Medora, and we always have our own resolutions and whatnot that you take forward to the
Right.
district, to the meeting. And I said, well, Don, don't we have to have a meeting before we go? And he goes, no. And I said, well, aren't we going to discuss any resolutions? I said, how are you going to know what to do? He goes, well, our bylaws give me the authority to make decisions on behalf of the whole district. It's like, oh, well then, okay. So there was no input at all whatsoever. And so then, there's just so many different things. But then so then I did win the chairmanship. So I was the chairwoman for District 31. And then it was coming up for election again about a year ago. And I was running, and so was Don. And we had it in his hometown. And he beat me by about 20 votes in his hometown, so which isn't a whole lot in someone's hometown. But anyway, and Mandan is it's over an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half away.
Right.
So a lot of people didn't go all the way to Mott, and I can understand that. That's all right. But when I say he beat me by 20 votes, I almost got beat up physically at that same place. Our treasurer was there. He was counting votes. And anyway, the treasurer's wife comes up to him and hands in a vote. And this is like 10 minutes after the voting had closed, and the vice chairs were giving their speeches and whatnot. And so I walk over there, and it's like, I said, what's going on? And it's like, well, and she said, I forgot to vote. I said, well, I'm sorry, but the voting was closed. And who knows if it was going to be a close vote like it was when it was in Mandan. It was just 1 or 2 votes. People were winning or losing. And it's like, I said, I'm sorry, but we closed the voting 10 minutes ago. She goes, well, I forgot. And so anyway, she ended up taking, because her husband was holding on to the vote because he's the treasurer. And finally, she just grabs it out of his hand and she used the F word and said, F it. And anyway, so then he goes ahead and he pushes me. And oh gosh, that was like something on my table. He pushes me and he said, get the hell out of here. He said, Mary, get the hell out of here. And it's like, oh my gosh. And it's like, are you kidding me? So you get physically assaulted at your own district meeting. And it's like, anyway, I lost that day, like I said, by about 20 points. And I just, someone had come up to me and was talking to me. Well, it was Shane Gettle. And I just said, this isn't over. And so that's kind of what made me decide, like, enough is enough. You got to stand up for what's right. And why would a sitting senator also want to be the sitting chairman of a district? But
there's a problem with that anyway. So people that aren't familiar, your legislators, which is 2 reps and 1 senator, automatically have a spot on the executive board, which I've never thought was right. That does not keep the 2 separate like they should be. There should be no involvement legislatively with your district. It's the craziest thing. It isn't allowed in South Dakota. You don't get automatic spots because you're on the executive or because you're a sitting legislator. Oh, there's some crazy background stuff going on there. Did you hear all that?
I don't hear anything.
Oh, something happened there, Mary. There's horrible feedback.
Oh, I bet it's my papers I put on the
Oh,
desktop.
are we back now?
Is it better?
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Oh, I put my papers. I have the voting records in front of me. So sorry, I put that on my.
No, that's okay. But
anyway, yeah. So it just the thing is with District 31 with the 3 sitting legislators. Okay, so there's 3 of them, and then and the former legislators are also on the board.
Yeah.
So we have 6 of them on the board. Now, let's just say all 3 of them lose this next go round. I'm not saying they will or they won't. I'm just using it as an example. Right. Say the 3 of them lose. Well, then we would have 6 former legislators and 3 new legislators. Hey. So you would have 9 legislators on a board of 15. Where is we the people?
No, there isn't. And it's by design. I've never understood how the legislature dictates that to begin with. And it's a unique thing here in North Dakota. I mean, there's other states that have similar stuff, but it's very actually unique to North Dakota how much power the legislature interjects into its state party rules. It's just insane. The party is a nonprofit organization that's supposed to be independent. They just run candidates. It's like everybody, well, how come we can't vote in the Republican this? It's like, well, you're not a Republican. They're a nonprofit private organization. That's the way that goes. Now, you can primary anybody you want, but the organization, they can choose whatever they want for a person, but the legislature is not supposed to have that kind of interjection and power within it. That's the problem that I see here.
Yeah.
And it's hard to overcome that. I mean, Don got you to hold it in his hometown, which I'd have never done. I'd have told Don to go pound sand, but I'm a different monster. I don't put over anybody's crap.
I'll be honest. That was my fault. I, as the chairman, could choose the location and the time. However, I was trying to keep it fair. I wanted to have it in Flasher, which is in the middle. Very inconvenient for the man.
I'd have held it in Selfridge. I wouldn't have given that son of a bitch one iota of an advantage whatsoever. I play to win, and that's just me. Yeah, I can tell you flat out, I will not concede anything to my enemies, just as I started out the program, and I consider him an enemy. And I always will. He's a two-faced, backstabbing son of a bitch. So, yes, I'm sure this is not Mary's opinion. This is mine, everybody. But that's my opinion of Don Shibley.
Well, and everyone's entitled to an opinion. And it's like, I
can prove he's a backstabber. But anyway.
Okay. Anyway, about my campaign. Then fast forward to this last session. he voted in favor of eminent domain for private industry, meaning if anybody wants to come on, whether it's, say, solar panels or data centers or pipelines or whatever it is, it's eminent domain. It's like, no, the billionaires are using taxpayer money to fund a private project that we're not going to benefit from. We don't get the benefits. It's not like a pipeline or a gas line that everybody can utilize, for us or the entire country. This is private industry doing things for themselves. And it's like, and on the backs of taxpayers, because a lot of them, they get those tax credits to build these different things, and then they take your land away at the same time. So I thought that was it. It's like, then I'd had enough. And then when you look at our education system and our test scores keep going down, 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 and he was head of education, that's there's something to be said for that. We've got to do something different. We need to get away from the DEI and the pronouns and this and that, and just teach our kids to read and write. It's like kids graduating from high school can't even read a book.
I don't know if you know a lot of the homeschool people,
I do.
As a whole. They got no love for Don because of his what do you want to say? He don't want to listen to him, for starters, and he really, I don't think, is a fan of the homeschooling initiative to begin with.
Well, there's no money in it.
I was going there.
Okay, go ahead.
But yes, and like you said, because each child's worth so much money to the state and to the feds. And one thing about him, this is where him and I very much differ. I want federal money left out of everything. Anytime the feds give you money, they make nothing, produce nothing, and sell nothing. So they can't give you anything unless they take it from somebody else. So there's no such thing as free tax money from anywhere, especially from the feds. I think all this should be done at state levels at the very best. And then you don't have to do some of these crazy federal things. I know a couple school districts that don't take one single dime of federal money. They're smaller. And you know what they don't do? Anything the feds want, because they don't have to, because they didn't take the money. And when you look at, and this is a stretch because I know that, it could happen. We got the money to do it, and it's sitting in a thing called a legacy fund. You want to do something good? Get rid of federal money out of your districts, out of your school system, and fund it with the legacy fund and do something good for the state. But they'll never do that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can make some changes. We got to start somewhere, and we got to get our kids back on track. Let kids be kids instead of, the different books that are allowed in the libraries. I'm all about, books. And as people compared these books to Michelangelo, well, I don't even want to say how graphic those books are, but it teaches kids how to do sexual things with each other. I'm sorry, that's a far cry than the artistic artwork of Michelangelo. So don't even go with that comparison.
Sexual books like that, the tranny movement, it's all evil stuff. None of that should be in our libraries, especially in the school libraries.
Oh, oofta.
The kids don't need to be exposed. Like you said, let kids be kids. Kids don't need that exposure to that stuff. They're going to see it soon enough on their own. But hopefully by then, us as parents have laid the groundwork so that they can fight that evil and not do that. It's that simple. Why this push to expose all these things to young kids? That's ideology. Has nothing to do with education.
Right. There's nothing Christian. There are no Christian values. Kids are going to let's just say
they kicked God out of school.
They did. Absolutely. And so I've always said too, even with the 10 Commandments, instead of calling them the 10 Commandments, that might be offensive. How about the 10 rules of being a good human being?
Well, they're God's law.
Exactly.
It's that simple. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts. The 10 Commandments given down that's God's law. Yeah, and of course people don't like to hear that. And I don't understand why us talking about God and Christianity is offensive, but them talking about trannies and fags and gays and whatever you want to call it, all this evil stuff. Why, if I say I'm offended by that, then I'm called a homophobe or what,
Well,
pick
and
your,
the thing is,
narrative.
I have friends. I know gay people. I'm not going to say I don't, and I care for them dearly. the thing is even they are upset because of this LGBTQ movement.
Well, it's been
because
hijacked.
They hijacked it is what they did. What you do in your own private life, boom, that's on you. Of course, I do. Oh, I do follow God's law myself personally, but that's between them and God, not between me and them. You know what I'm saying? And so that's
true.
That's
It is, and I always get asked this even at well, what would you do if a gay person come to your church? I said I'd welcome them to be there, because where else are they going to get what they need? Because they're not going to get it from counselors. They're going to get it from Scripture. And we should be encouraging them to listen to Scripture. Now, I'm not going to condone their lifestyle. If they say, oh, well, you accept me as what I do. No, I'm going to try to tell you how it's wrong. But I'm going to use the points of God's law to tell them that. Sure. Now, we can be friends, but I'm never going to tell them it's okay. And we shouldn't tell them it's okay because it's not. But we can be friends. But see, there's people that are on that side. They think you're crazy because you won't accept them being gay. And I'm not going to. I don't have to. Now, I can be nice to them. I can be their friend, but I'm never, ever going to condone their sinful life. And that's what it is. I mean, I sin and I ask for forgiveness every single day, sometimes several times a day, especially working cattle. But I understand that it's sinful and I shouldn't do it. And they don't. If you're marrying your partner and you happen to be a male and a male, you right there have almost cemented your future, unfortunately, because you believe it's right. And that you can't be forgiven for till you actually repent and understand it's wrong. And it's pretty simple and clear to me.
Well, I see David Fettig, which, by the way, miss you, David. He said it's not ours to judge eternity. And that's true. And that's why it's like, and again, because that's not the road I wanted to go down tonight, but
no, that's okay.
No, but it's like, it's true. It's like there's a lot of great people who have gay tendencies. I get it. I understand it. But they're not flaunting it. It's just these way left whack jobs that hijack the movement. And, what is it? 1 or 2% of the entire population in the country.
Yeah, it's less than 2%. Yeah.
And we have to bend to those rules. But anyway, that's just, we just need to take our schools back. Let's just,
we do. And the schools have been inundated with, that started in the 60s and I don't know if you saw the recent video from the National Education Association president. That gal's off her rocker. And I'm pretty sure that video wasn't supposed to get out and it kind of disappeared. But I'm telling you, if that's the leader of the NEA, I hope every single teacher has left that organization. I wouldn't want to put my name as associated card carrying member.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's horrible. So Leon says, he goes, you're refreshing, loves your clarity. You know who Leon is, I'm sure.
I do. Yes.
Leon's a good guy. He's got a show here now too on Friday nights, and he does a great job. He really, he covers everything. So let's see. He says, I had a friend who cheated on his wife. I confronted him face to face, told him that I love him, but I don't condone his godless behavior and his harmful behavior to his wife. Absolutely. That's how you handle that. And I guess that's, everyone knows that I went through quite some tough times here, starting last fall with my son and his health and the whole bunch, but it forced me to finally come back to my faith even stronger. And I guess the first thing I learned was I can forgive people. I mean, I forgive, I don't know how to explain it, Mary. I forgive anybody. My enemies, I don't have to condone and do things, and I don't have to make sure that I'm conceding to my enemy, but I can forgive them. And there is a difference. I don't wish them ill harm, and I sure don't wish them death like some of these crazies on the other side. I mean, they literally wish all of us death. Isn't that horrible?
Yeah. Hey, hang on one second. My battery's running low, so I'm going to unplug that little thing for my microphone and see if it still works. I'm going to plug my computer in here.
I'll tell you what, while you're doing that, I'll just take a quick break.
Okay.
And we'll come back and we can go as long as you want. We haven't covered what we really come to talk about. So, okay.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
All right. Take care.
located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
When you want it done right,
Go where lemons go.
Kalon's Auto Service, owned and operated by Kalon and Misty Foss, lifelong locals with over 25 years experience. From modern rides to classic restorations, they can handle it all. Top quality work, fair price, and honest hometown values. Located just one block south of Highway 12 on 6th Avenue West in Lemmon. Kalon's Auto Service, serving you with all your auto repair needs.
For the best gun gear for every and any situation, Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger to essential extras from Magpul, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
At Horton LaserCraft, we believe in the power of personalization. Whether it's a cherished memory, a special occasion, or a unique gift, our custom laser engraving brings your vision to life. Our expert craftsmen and state-of-the-art technology ensure every piece is a work of art. From personalized decor to one-of-a-kind keepsakes, Horton LaserCraft makes every moment unforgettable. Horton LaserCraft is owned and operated by a local veteran and his wife located near Thunderhawk, South Dakota. They provide custom laser products at a reasonable price, and their turnaround time is fast and efficient.
Custom board cutting, glassware, decanter sets, mugs, assorted stainless steel jewelry, assorted tags, decor, custom acrylic nightlights, and much, much more.
Call them up at 605-545-7535. Horton LaserCraft, where memories are engraved.
All right, we are back. So I know we didn't plan to go down that rabbit hole, but you know what? All the comments I'm seeing, people love this, Mary. So I'm glad to see that. David, I love. He says, good to see you, Mary. He says, don't be shy about your faith here. The Guns and the 701 Network always has a place for God. And I don't know if anyone, we've really kind of went in that direction. We even have the Sportsman Sunday devotion on Sunday. We got Leon on there on Fridays. I'm, of course, on Tuesday nights. And then David's got his own called 701 Marksman. So, yeah, it's grown quite a bit. And we definitely have a place for God and faith. It's just something that should be part of it. Now, I do like what Leon said here. So I got to put this up here. He says, I don't think as representatives of your constituents, you should brown bag your faith. Our republic is only sustainable for a moral, faith-based people. If not grounded in faith, it's also perfect for an extremely hedonistic society. Boy, that's pretty true, isn't it?
It is true. It is true. And I'm not shy about my faith. But I also think when it comes to the gay community, like one of your other viewers had said, it's not for us to judge. And so that's why I don't judge them. That's between them and God. And I'm not going to sit there and I don't condone it and I don't condemn it. And maybe I should condemn it. I condemn it,
but I don't condone it.
Okay. I don't.
But it doesn't mean I hate that person. Doesn't mean I don't have love for that person.
Yeah.
But you should always condemn evil actions, and those are evil actions.
Yeah.
It's every sin is the same. There's robbing a bank is the same as murdering someone. As far as in God's eyes, sin is sin. And I'm sorry, but laying down with a man and a man or a woman is just as evil as sin as any of them. So you got to condemn the sin, but don't condemn the sinner. They can be forgiven.
Hate the sin and love the sin.
Absolutely.
Hate the sin and love the sinner.
Absolutely. And that's what Kelly said. And he's right. He says, we hate the sin and not the sinner. But I'm never going to condone it. That's for sure. Fair. But it doesn't mean that I have hate for them in my heart. That's why I said, if I saw them come to church, I'm going to welcome them in. That's the place they need to be. Honestly, you're not going to get the word of God probably at most counselors or in health support groups that support your narrative that way. It's not going to be helpful to you. So anyway, that is not the rabbit hole we came here to talk about, though.
We did not.
Let's get back to the eminent domain thing. And you've got a voting record. Yeah, I don't know. Are you able to put that up there?
This one, it's I don't know if I can do that. It's 2322. It was supposed to eliminate eminent domain for the green agenda, and he voted against that.
Hey, I think I can put this up here. Give me a minute here. There it is, right?
There it is. And so if you look over on the right-hand side of the screen, I highlighted all of his votes. And he's at 35%, people. 35%. Right. Now, these are not all of the bills. These are the most conservative bills. And if you look through, it says, on this basis, we evaluate votes on various bills which would either increase or decrease the size, cost, scope, and power of government. Every vote for an increase in government subsidies and grants rates 0, and the closer the representative score to 0, the more it represents the philosophy of socialism. Every vote for a decrease in government and for more personal responsibility and individual liberty rates a plus, and the closer to the representative score is to 100%, the more it represents the philosophy of Americanism. So Don got 35%.
Yep.
And I don't have Karen's and Dawson's in front of me. I think Karen's was 95% and Dawson was 90%. It was either that or Karen might have been 90 and Dawson 85.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that.
Yeah, it just a few points different, and that's a far cry. And Senator Shively's 35% right there. The 2 years previous were actually, or the 2 sessions previous, he was 45, 45, and now down to 35. So over the last 3 sessions, it's gotten even progressively worse. But then if you look at his CPAC score, which is a Conservative Political Action Conference, it's some of the greatest minds of the conservative movement are in CPAC. Right now, it's Matt and Mercedes Schlapp. They're the ones on Newsmax, if you see them. They're the ones that are running it right now. But he raised a lifetime score of 68%. And so, and that's the highest he's gotten. And then if you go to Leginate, and I didn't look up Leginate, he is not on the right side either. He's just in the middle moderate. And so it's like that's 3 different voting records, and none of them are conservative. And now even some people say 68%, well, that's not so bad, for CPAC. And it's like, well, that's still a D, right? It's still a D. And it's like, you want an A, we'll accept a few Bs, but we would love to have an A+, when it comes to voting records. We get it. You're not always going to agree. You can sit down at your kitchen table and not agree with all your relatives, but yet you were raised under the same roof. Okay. We'll just put that out there, but you got to be, 68 is not a passing grade.
So at Leginate, so Dawson Holly he's from that, they've got that mark of 1 that goes blue and red. And he's at 47 on that, which that's a different type of scoring, just so everybody knows.
Right.
I was kind of looking at.
Did you say, you said Don? Did you mean Don?
No, I'm talking about Dawson. I went over there and looked at Dawson's because he said you didn't have his. And then Jared's at 48. So that should tell you something. by no means is
Oh,
Jared.
Jared Hendricks. Okay.
Yeah. So, and I forget how they score this. I'd have to go back and
What
read
they
how
do is they
this.
take your vote and compare it to the most conservative legislator and the most liberal legislator, and then they come up with how many times does your vote match the most conservative or the most liberal, and then I think the leaders are on there too.
Yeah. I was just looking like Donna Henderson. She's at 98. Desiree, she's at 99. That doesn't surprise me. I know both them people very well. Jeff Holverson, and Jeff's very conservative. He's at 79. So, I mean, when you look at these numbers, and then like Ben Compliment at 53, but I know Ben, I'm sure you do too, and Ben's very conservative. So when you look at that and then you kind of understand how that's coming out, that's where that's coming from. Dan Ruby, he's a committee chair. He's at 31. Of course, that doesn't surprise me. I was looking for Karen's on here.
Karen's is higher. Yours is higher.
I'm sure I just missed it here, but because Karen's had some good votes, and let's remember, Karen, in 19 when we were talking about property rights, and she voted against us that time. But after having a discussion with her, and I think you did too, she figured out she did that wrong. So I'm sure if we ever brought that back to a legislative session, we'd have her vote on that now. I think she's pretty strong on property rights now. Yeah, Leon, Ben K is very conservative. Exactly, yes, he is. I didn't put it up there, but yeah, if you ever want to go to that site, it's Leginate, LEGINATE.com, and go take a look at it, because there's some good info there. There truly is.
Yeah, there really is. There is. And you can pick up every bill and find out how they voted.
And and Don was with us on that at that time, but then he turns around and basically slaps the landowner in the face when he votes for eminent domain. And eminent domain should never be used for that. That was not the intent of the founders with eminent domain. It really wasn't. Not to build private pipelines across. And remember, this pipeline stuff, there's more to it. Of course, I think they're trying to say we have to do it if we're going to stay compliant with the green terrorists, I call them, the green people.
That Green New Deal should be abandoned.
Gone. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, because we need carbon for our or CO2. We need it for our plants to grow.
Did you know that in Iowa, their carbon levels are getting so low in their soils that they're actually taking and spraying that now on their fields?
I've heard that. That's crazy. Yep.
So that should tell everybody something right there. They know there's thanks. You know what? We owe South Dakota a ton of thanks, because they shut it down, or this thing would be being built right now.
Yeah. Well, but I've heard
they're trying to get around it.
Yes. Isn't and I have to look this up, but our Attorney General, Drew Wrigley, is involved is he suing the state of South Dakota? I have to get my facts.
I think he joined the lawsuit, but I don't think it's going anywhere.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't looked it up lately, but let him. Well, I mean, South Dakota can pass what they want. I mean, they're a sovereign state. And I don't think that the Attorney General down there cares, but he's got his own problems from what I hear too. Their Attorney General in South Dakota evidently did some things, but that's a whole different discussion. I just heard
What is it about South Dakota and doing different things? I mean, look at Christie's
her husband.
What in the world? Like,
that's been rumored for a long time, was never confirmed. I remember that when she was in the legislature, and I was with South Dakota Shooting Sports, and got kind of knew her then. And then as I became the rep, and they'd come to the banquet, but that was I met him a couple times, and I just didn't get a masculine, vibe from him. I'll just put it that way. So, Leon says that Karen also, fake news. Yeah. So, I just, South Dakota's, I mean, they shut it down for now, and they're trying to do a workaround. You got to remember, they never quit, do they? A lot of money invested in that thing. They're not backing down. So, okay, I know you're 2A. I don't question your credentials on the Second Amendment whatsoever, and we know your private property rights. So what else do we need to know?
Well, I think it's a given that I'm pro-life. I know that there are people that give money to North Dakota Right to Life, and let's just say I probably have more change in my car seat than what that person may give. And that's sad, but you give a few bucks to North Dakota Right to Life, and then you claim you're right, then that you're pro-life. That's not how it works. You have to vote pro-life. And there were some amendments. This amendment that came up, I was talking to one of the gals that works at North Dakota Right to Life, and Don voted against it. He said, well, I would never vote for anything when you have all these things bundled together, or hog house it or whatever. But he's done it on other bills, but he said that that bill should have been stripped out and that amendment should have been set aside and voted on alone, because I would never vote alone or vote on that many bills together. And it's like, but that's not true. And it's like there are other instances where he has. And so North Dakota Right to Life is not real happy with him. And
nor should they be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like you said, just giving a couple bucks, and that'd be like somebody donating $10 to the NRA and saying, "Yep, I'm pro-gun." No, it doesn't work that way. It don't at all.
Yep, you have to live it and vote it.
Yeah, and votes tell everything. Politicians and people who hold seats can tell you whatever they want, but the votes tell you everything. And in South Dakota, I was pretty involved with the campaign with Thune when we defeated the sitting Senate leader, and that was Tom Daschle. And that was Tom Daschle's biggest problem. His votes said different things than what he was telling the people when he'd come home. And Thune trounced him. It wasn't just a win. I mean, we were sitting in Rapid City, and I watched them voter numbers come in, and we already had won before we crossed the river. And West River always went to the Republican. And it was over before it was over. They just weren't calling it. We knew it. We were watching a number that it was statistically impossible for Daschle to come back after we crossed the river and got those first counties. And we're like, oh, we were celebrating. We were having a good time because we knew we had already won. But yet you can't do that. You can get away with it for a while, right? We see politicians do that. And that's what kind of why I wanted to have you on here too, is Mary's not like that, everybody. She's going to tell you what she thinks. That's a good thing. She might be a little smoother around the edge than I am, but that's okay too. But I can tell you can trust her. That's the biggest thing. And I don't trust Dawn. And I think that's what it comes down to. I think when you're in that polling booth, wouldn't you say that it's whatever you've conveyed as your message that they trust you? Mm-hmm. And I hope that's what people can get out of this, is that they can trust you.
Well, I hope so too. And I sit here and I think, well, what are they going to dig up? What are they going to do? Because politics can be dirty. But it's like, I am an open book, and I probably sometimes say too much, but it's out there. It's, I've been recorded on Beck News for 6 years. I've given my opinion. And so if they take a clip, but sometimes you can take a clip and take it out of context too.
Well, look what they did to Rick Becker.
Right.
Rick Becker was not anti-egg. They took one little small clip of an entire statement and made him sound like he hated farmers and ranchers.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the truth at all. And I happen to agree with his statement.
Well, it's kind of funny because Rick, he had actually come out to our ranch and did part of his commercial on our ranch. And he's it's the farthest thing. So you just have to, it's like bullies on the playground. It's like they're going to try to bring things down, and you never know what they're going to come up with, but I'm prepared for it. It's like I'm tough enough to, it doesn't, like, been there, done that. You know what I'm saying? It's like I got beat up twice in school, once in junior high, once in high school. I mean, it's like, and it's just, I've been there, done that. I've lived it. I've come from a very poor background and made something of myself with hard work, not depending on the government. The government's there for a hand up, not a hand out. Right. And it's like, I did help out after DAPL. I helped at Morton County for, I think 3 years, and I floated from different office to office. I helped, first of all, I started in the auditor's office, but then they kept me on because I was a farm wife. I had quit State Farm and was raising my kids at home. And then it's like, well, they all had cars by then, and it's like they didn't really need me anymore for anything. And so it's like I got a part-time job at the county. And so I would work if someone like had a knee replacement, I'd work in the county agent's office for 6 weeks. Someone had a baby up in the state's attorney's office. I worked there for, anyway.
You're like a floater.
I was a floater. And then, but I could also say yes or no. But I saw so many things in the government, and there again made me want to step up and just do something to help our county, do something to help our state, our country. I mean, and again, it's like I'm an open book. And so I guess it's in God's hands. If God wants me there, I'm going to win.
Well, you're taking the path that you felt you were led to, right?
Exactly.
And I'm sure with you, as with many of us, I do believe that that's God leading us. Those of us that believe, I can tell you, I took a complete different turn, and I'm sure that's been noticeable to many, and I'm not looking back. It's been the rewards of it have been way overshadowed by the negatives. I can tell you that.
Amen. Yeah, no, I'm going to do everything I can, just to get we the people back. I mean, because right now, okay, so it's kind of funny. On the billboards, it says, "We need your vote." It's like, you're dang right you do. They don't want your voice, but they want your vote. Right. And that's what's so funny. They don't want your voice. They want your vote. Because not only do they not want your voice, Don Shibley is the chair of our district. We had our state and sitting senator. We had our state convention, and he didn't show up. Neither did Tim Silrum, our treasurer. Neither did our secretary. Neither did our parliamentarian. None of them showed up. And it's like, so wait a minute. And so not only did they not show up, but he didn't even make any excuses. I mean, our district was up there. And I was at the CPAC meeting, by the way, down in Texas at the time. And so I wasn't there either, but I'm not on the board. Okay. But anyway, so it's like, not only did they not show up, but they didn't even make an excuse. I mean, it was like 9:00 is when the convention was supposed to start, and they're looking at credentialing. All right. So all of a sudden, everyone's looking around. Hey, where's Don? Where's Don? There's no Don, right? And so, as far as the credentials go, it's like, so then, because there's other rooms, like he could have been in the bathroom, or he could have been, they always have like a silent auction, live auction room, or coffee and donut room, whatever. So it's like, and then it's like, well, gosh, maybe he got in an accident. People were absolutely worried about him. And so Dawson Hawley texted him. He said, "Sorry, can't make it." And then so did our vice chair, or our new vice chairman that he endorsed is Nick Hacker. And I'll let you go ahead and
Perry's little boy.
Well, the thing is that the Ray Holmberg file is still open. It is still open. And so, all right, so our new vice chair didn't show up. And so it's like our chairwoman, Dr. Susan Keller, she's a former state vet. She was there. And then she texted Don. He was sorry, can't make it. And it's like, he didn't even say, oh, I was sick. I had a funeral. I had a wedding. I mean, isn't there a country western song? Can't remember how it goes. I used to love it, by the way. But anyway, it's like you could have every excuse in the world, but not even any excuse. He did not show up, and he was supposed to lead the entire district at the state convention. And again, according to our bylaws, you are supposed to assign a proxy. He didn't bother doing that. Didn't
tell nobody.
Well, but that's just it. And not only that, here's a funny known fact. And this is something I found out later because, again, I wasn't there, and I wasn't at the board meetings either. But okay, so according to our district bylaws, you have to turn in a written notice 20 days before you're running. Guess who didn't turn in a written notice 20 days before the meeting?
Gee, the chairman?
You think?
The guy that he's got to turn it into to himself. And I remember when I made that point, as I was still there on the board, remember, and I go, I see a conflict of interest in this, because You're gonna be the chair, but yet you're gonna run. So you're gonna what? Notify yourself? I mean, that's what that comes down to. I said, plus it'll give an advantage to you because you're gonna absolutely know who's running before you really make a decision. I mean,
but there again, it's rules for thee and not for me. But we need your vote. Yeah, we need your vote, but we don't need your voice.
And that's exactly what it's come to. And District 31 now is really in bad shape that way. We had a chance there. Of course, when I ran and you ran and all of us did, we only won half the seats because we were just short a few people. Remember how snowy and blizzardy it was down in my country?
Yeah, it was a sheet of ice.
And if they'd have made that, I mean, I was counting all them up. We'd have swept it, Mary.
We would have.
I know we would have. But, we gave it our best to do it. And it just didn't. Well, I guess that was not the path we were going to be on. And we'll see where it goes. I'm excited that you're taking him on. I'm not a fan of Don. I never have been. I don't like the arrogance from him. I really don't. When I attended Armstrong's inaugural ball, I've seen him there. He just has this air about. It's like he was almost there because he thought he should be, not because he wanted to be. I don't know. That makes sense. That's how he acted to me, or to anybody that he was around.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know him real personally, so I just judge a person by how he's treated others or treated me, and or treated the district, treated the people, and so,
Well, David said, he goes, maybe stuff has changed, but my grandpa 20 years ago always complained about the big farmers around Mott. They were killing the local economy. Don was one of those. Mary supports our community. There you go. He's making a big contrast. And Mary does. Mary, you are always involved with something. I don't think there's any more community involved person probably in your area than you, as far as that goes. And that says a lot about the integrity of a person. And I don't know too many people that don't know you, Mary. I mean, everyone knows you through a lot of different aspects, especially the corn business. But I mean, they know you, and I don't hear bad things. I guess that's the thing I notice the most. I don't hear people speak ill of you. I hear that about Don all the time. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing that people are not saying bad things. That's a great thing, actually.
Well, we try to pay back, the sweet corn business. We have a lot of friends, neighbors. It used to be the kids' friends from high school or even junior high used to come help us pick.
Right.
And so the community, if there's a cancer benefit or, a firefighter benefit or anything, I donate to those things. I drop off free sweet corn for law enforcement all the time. I drop off free sweet corn for the fire department. Sometimes I'll even run over to Butcher Block and buy some steaks so they have something to go with their sweet corn. Many of the churches or the different food pantries, I drop off corn. I just make, God gave it to me. It's my responsibility to pay it forward to the community. And so anybody who's asked for corn, that's great. But then fast forward to Standing Rock. I've been gifted 2-star quilts from the Standing Rock elders because I've donated corn down to the Standing Rock Sioux tribe, the elders. And so that's quite an honor in my opinion. I mean, I wasn't expecting that. It's just,
I think you just said it there. You don't do it because you're expecting anything back. You do it because you're just a good person. And you're right. All the gifts we have are from God, and we should be giving his tithe, I guess, in a way you'd say that's a good way to do it, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, no, I like to pay back to the community. And here's the deal. It's like the community, I mean, it is changing. We'll just say that. But for the most part, you still trust your neighbors. You do things on a handshake. In fact, I should, this is kind of a funny story. Our priest was out here and he was hunting, and this was in the first week in December, and we had that big snowstorm, and he calls me. He said, Mary, he goes, I need your help. It's like I got stuck in a snowbank. He was out hunting, I think turkeys. It was hunting turkeys, I think. But anyway, I said, I can't help you. I said, I'm down in Vegas because our daughter was Miss Rodeo, North Dakota. So we're down in Vegas, and Kenny's down there too at that point. So then we go ahead and we call our neighbor, who's a cousin / nephew. Anyway, so he goes out and he thinks he's going to help him. Well, he couldn't get it out with a Jeep. So then it's like he had to go get Big John, and that's the John Deere tractor off of our place. Anyway, so Big John came and saved him. And he gave a sermon that weekend on Big John. And it's like John the Baptist who came and saved people. You know, it was just, so he takes real life experiences and puts them into a sermon like that. It was just pretty cool.
And that sounds like my pastor. I love it because he does the same thing. He'll put real life stuff. I mean, he's 72 years old, not a young man, but he still has it. And to me, that makes it more relatable. But even I don't know if you've seen the stuff, but I try to post every morning something. That's what I do. I try to put real life stuff in there when I give my devotion in the morning. But I don't know. To me, it just makes it more real and maybe grabs people's attention more if they can be very relatable on a personal level, right?
Yeah.
That's my thought on it. I think that's, like you're running. I think people need to connect personally sometimes. And I think they do with you. I mean, I can remember when I first met you. I remember I got on there, you're like, I can't believe you got appointed to this. Well, I don't know. I sat down with him, and yeah, I was shocked too. But I think when you meet somebody and you make that first impression, that's what they take away, is that it's somebody that's very going to be a personal something, and they can trust you. That's why I think I think you're going to have a good turnout here. I think we need to. That's why I wanted to get you on here, expose you to more people on this end, and if you get down here, I can take you around like I did Dawson that first time, and you probably know a lot of the people, but you might not know everybody.
Yeah, and that's just it. My husband might know a lot of the people or a lot of the names, but like Pat Becker is down in that area, Alan Lund, but Pat Becker and
that's over in that Selfridge area more so than the West End over here.
Oh, sure. Yep. Yeah, but they put on a meet and greet for me at the casino, and we had a nice turnout, and it was, it was amazing. But so I guess that would be more towards the east side. But
I'm over here darn near I'm not that far from, probably would say, the Adams County, Edinger County, north and south. But Darren and Summer Peterson, I imagine.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they're north and west of me. That's kind of tells you where I'm at. I'm way over west over here. So, but like I said, if we're able to, I do definitely take you around. I put that invitation out to everybody that if they want to come down. I know Alex Blaz is going to come down. I'm going to take him around and introduce him to people. That personal knock on the door and handshake goes a long ways, rather than a postcard in the mail.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's
or an ad in the paper. Yeah.
Where it's at. Yeah, indeed. Just tell everyone to put their dogs away. Farm dogs can be mean.
I know one thing I got to ask you, and if you get elected and a bill comes up in the next legislative session that tries to emulate what happened with antelope seasons and put the gratis tags into a drawing,
oh my,
would you vote for that?
No.
I knew the answer, but I had to ask it.
It's like, no, absolutely not. I mean, gratis.
Because word is that Backcountry Hunters is going to bring one of them. The same people that brought it. I imagine, I don't know, Sean Cleary, he carried the weight for that in the Senate on the antelope thing, and it didn't go well. I know there was a lot of feedback from those of us who own land, and then complaints from the hunters because they couldn't get on anybody's land around here. Well, no kidding. When you take away a person's tag after they fed them animals all year, we don't have to grant access.
Yeah.
And it didn't go well. So but I hear that that's the plan. So I'll probably be spending a lot of time up there in 2027.
Yeah, I think I got to know you pretty well during the hunting days or that legislative movements. But it's like one of the things, they kept saying, our out-of-state hunters, they're not going to have a place to hunt. It's like, well, okay, what out-of-state hunter goes to a state 2 or 3 states away to ditch hunt? They don't. The out-of-state hunters already have a plan in place or a guide in place, or they have land already that they know they're going to. Out-of-state hunters don't come here and pay those big fees to ditch hunt. They just doesn't happen.
No, it's already a done deal. And I can tell you that a lot of the backcountry hunters, they're not our friends as landowners or hunters. They just are not. And I'm not getting to, we don't have enough time to go into the backstory of the backcountry hunters, but the guys that founded that, they are not us. They're not one of us. They never have been. And their whole push is they'd like to see this whole area. I do believe they think this, although they haven't put it on paper. But I've listened to them enough of them talk. They'd love to see this whole area become public land for everybody. All of it. Buy us out.
It's coming. It's coming, you guys. It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. They just want to.
The only way it happens here is either I'm dead and I took a bunch of them with me because I'm not giving my land up. Or I won and then I got a whole bunch of pigs, so I got a disposal unit.
Oh my God. Don't sugarcoat it. Just tell it like it is. Hey.
Well, you know me, Mary.
No, I know.
This is insane, the attacks on private property, and I know that you'll be a defender of that. I have no doubt in my mind.
Absolutely. I just want to make sure I hit all my notes here.
Yeah.
Cards. But fiscally responsible, of course. That's one of my deals. Right to life, support agriculture and land rights, strong values-based education, defend the Constitution, and of course support our veterans. I can tell you a little veteran story. My dad was a disabled vet. Now, he didn't get his full disability till he was later in life, but he had lost his hearing, and he had told us that since we were little kids. Oh, I lost it in the Army. I lost it in the Army. Well, my sister Judy fought for him for long and hard, and so he finally got some disability, I think when he was in his 60s. They finally said, oh, okay, maybe you are. Anyway, so he's 100% disabled for hearing, and we tried to get him into a nursing home in the Bismarck Mandan area, and we couldn't. We couldn't.
Really?
And I asked, why not? And I had a nice conversation with, one of the input gals or whatever, trying to get in. And she said, to be honest, it's because there's too much paperwork. We just can't deal with it. And it's like, oh my gosh. So you're telling me the men and women that fought for this country cannot be in a nursing home in Bismarck or Mandan because there's too much paperwork involved? Are you kidding me? So we did take them out to Glen Ellen because that one is VA approved. There's a big fancy one in Valley City, I want to say. And then there's also one up by Garrison. And I'm sure there's more, but I don't know where they are. But anyway, I had John Hoven, Senator Hoven, on our show one time, and I brought that up. And so that is something that he's been working on. I don't know where it's at as far as how far it has come, because I haven't needed to know, I guess, at this point. I mean, I should make myself know. In fact, I promise I'm going to find out. But, it's so, we've got to protect our veterans. They're the ones that gave us these freedoms. And so they fought for us. Now we need to fight for them.
And I would hope that's a universal thing, not Democrat, not Republican, but unfortunately, I see some. Yeah, that should just be.
So should private property rights, bipartisan.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, they're the fundamental building blocks of this country, other than Christian values, which is what this whole country's
Did you just say? Now, wait a minute. Did you just say that we have something in common with Democrats?
We do. That way, we should have. I said we should have.
Yeah, no, I know. But what I'm saying is, there are some Democrats that lean our way. There really are, and so that's why I would never cut them out.
Well,
I know it's your show. It's your show. You do what you want.
The ones I have cut out, I know how they stand.
Yeah,
Let's put it
and
that
that's
way.
just it. There are definitely some.
I mean, there's some that I'm just done with. There's some Republicans I'm done with because they're not Republicans.
No.
Well, no, I take it back. They're Republicans. They're not constitutionalists or conservatives.
Yeah, true.
But I always tell everybody when I first meet them and afterwards, especially if I get to know them, I go, you do realize that first conversation was an interview, right? Because I ask certain questions generally.
Sure.
In fact, there's a guy listed tonight. His name's Kelly, and he hunts our land. And him and I joke about it now. But yeah, I said, you were in an interview that first day when you asked to hunt. So it's kind of, I got certain questions I asked that really will tell me what your thought process is. I probably should have been like a detective because I'm not too bad at interrogating without you knowing it.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm fully on board with that too, just with my investigative background with State Farm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got a firsthand look at that, didn't you?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So before we go, is there anything you want to tell everybody?
Well, I just think that June 9th is the very most important day. The primary is the most important vote. That's when you get your county commissioners or your school board, your,
Right.
you know, all of these elected officials, your sheriffs, you know, your city dog catcher for that matter. But
The
that's
local seats.
Yep, exactly. So you have to, June 9th, the primary, you've got to get out and vote. Yes, then you need to get out and vote again in November, but don't overlook that June primary. I know it's one, it's like, it's not that big a deal. It really is. It's a bigger deal than anything.
It really is. And this year, guys, on the general, I imagine that the votes or the signatures are going to be valid on the taxpayer giveaway of lunches. So make sure that you get out and vote against that. I don't
want to
have
say
hopes.
they marched their signatures to the Capitol today. They doubled. They needed like 30-some thousand. I think they brought in 57,000 signatures. Yep. And it's like, and there again, that's more socialism. It's like every child already if they need a free lunch, they
can get it.
Absolutely.
Yep. This universal free lunch is a crazy idea. It's not part of the school function. It's definitely not part of the government function.
And it doesn't need to be part of our Constitution. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's even worse. To me, when you sit down and think about voting on this and you think you're going to vote yes, just the idea that they're going to cement it into our Constitution, it's pretty hard to get rid of it then if it fails. This is not a good choice. And I can tell you right now, I'm starting it out already telling people vote no on that.
Mm-hmm. And it's not because we don't like children. We love children. But, you know, and free meals are already available.
They're already available for kids who need them.
Right. And then we lose some federal funding on another side if we do accept that. And I don't have the figures in front of me, but there's some federal funding that we lose. So we're actually going to be losing money by doing.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. I knew when that happened during China virus, they're going to try to make it permanent everywhere. And here it is coming to North Dakota.
Well, that's another thing. We can talk about mRNA vaccines next time. They're putting them in your food. They're putting them in your meat.
Everything.
And so that's another thing to stay away from is the vaccines. I've never been a non-vaxxer. All of my kids were vaccinated with their childhood vaccines. However, if I had a baby today, none of them would be vaccinated.
So, that's a whole nother discussion. But short answer, Landon got all of them, unfortunately. And I'm pretty sure that's what caused his slight autism. Leighton had the one that went back to the 85 or 86 schedule. We did not allow them to give them the rest. And he's been.
There are some detoxing things. I'm not gonna promise you a miracle, but talk to Dr. Ted Fogarty. I can hook him up with you.
I've got Ted's number. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. And then I've worked with a couple other people on it too. Landon's doing good. He really is. But we had to go through some of that. So.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So David. So if they pay for the food, can they control what the food is?
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Mary. Well, like I said, we're coming up close to the top of the hour. I officially endorse you, and so does the GOP701 network. We officially endorse you, Mary, because you are the right person for the job. It's just that simple.
I appreciate that. And if people would just check out my website, Mary for ndsenate.com, I'd really appreciate it. If you could float me a few bones, that would be great too. I have a hard time asking for money. Like I said, I can fundraise for anybody. But
if you're going to donate to somebody, donate to Mary, guys. As I'm telling you right now, the other side that they're running against, which is going to be Jim and Don and Kevin, they're well funded. And I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But so anything you can give to any of these other candidates, I highly recommend to do it. It's money well spent. So please do it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And thanks for the time. It's always great catching up with you too.
Yeah, we'll have to have you on again. There's a lot of time. I know it don't seem like, but there's a lot of time between here and June yet. But April 30th, guys, if you want, like I said, I'm not for the early or mail-in ballots, but you know what? That's the game we got to play right now. Go do it. Go get it done.
And I was going to say a lot of them too, a lot of elderly do it because there's some people in our district who in the last few sessions they've had to change where they vote like 3 different times in the last few years. And so they're just tired of it. So they are voting by mail. So a lot of the elderly do request that mail-in ballot.
Well, I don't even have a choice. And that was a legislative decision when they closed them all down, said you only had to have one. They made it Fort Yates, which is 100 and some miles for me. So now I have to, they send me out the absentee request without even requesting it. But that's the only way I can vote unless I want to drive over to Fort Yates, and I don't want to do that. So I do it by mail.
There you go. All right.
So,
thanks again. I really
yep.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Mary. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in to another great episode. We'll have Mary on again. Next week, it sounds like I'm possibly going to have Nate Brown on. He is now the, he's in charge of, forget now, he's with the NRA at the Whittington Center Advancement Office. So he was the field rep here in North and South Dakota, and he's going to be fresh off of the NRA annual meetings. That's the plan, unless things change. Otherwise, everybody have a great evening. Have a great rest of the week. Friday morning, I will be on with KFYR 550 with Todd Mitchell in the morning, 7:15 Mountain, 8:15 Central. Blackbeard Logic, 5 o'clock p.m. Central or Mountain Time and 6 o'clock Central. He'll be on here Friday night with Blackbeard Logic, Leon Francis, and of course Sunday Sportsman Devotion with Vance Bishop, 7 a.m. Mountain Time, 8 a.m. Central. So tune in for all them great shows. We'll catch everybody next week right here, same day, same time on Guns and the 701. Have a great weekend and keep your powder dry.
Thanks.